Wait a minute here. There must be something wrong with this picture, James. So my house, there is fighting and scramble for food on the table, and scramble for um, money to pay the mortgage and so forth. And this, you might find this funny, but way back then, let's see, I'm 72 now. So this was in about 1950s, something like that. They bought a home. This is in California, and their mortgage was $50 a month. You believe that? But they eventually, at $50 a month, paid off the house. Of course, the house was probably purchased for $6,000 or $7,000 in that time, and it was 3-bedroom, small, but 3-bedroom wood frame home. Anyway, I was making these observations, and so I went through school and college and got into the military, and primarily to get out of the house because of a lot of the abuses that took place there. And then I began observing some more. And the more that I observed the good things, I started modeling them and started changing myself. So I'm saying to you, all of you that are watching this film today, take a look at your own life, whether it is about money, about how you look, about your relationship, your husband, does your wife really truly love you? So I would say this on the relationship. Look at your friend. Look at your life partner. Sit with them sometimes and take a few minutes out of your day from the job and from cooking dinner and what are we going to watch on TV tonight. Take a few minutes and sit with them and look at them right in the eye. Just for a few minutes, maybe. While you're gazing into their eyes, realize this, you're gazing into that soul. And say in your mind's eye and say in your heart how much you love them. And then you verbalize it. You say to their face that I love you. I'm so glad that you're in my life. And you think about this. You're going about living your life and you don't necessarily know the person that you cross in the grocery store, or maybe it's the department store, or maybe it's over Big O Tires. It doesn't matter. It's in a job. It's in your own household. Do you really know what's going on in their mind? They may be worrying about any number of things and reinforcing some sort of belief inside of them that is not necessarily true, oftentimes totally false. I'm sure you have come across times in your life, let's say particularly in a relationship, and then your partner will say something, and then you say to them, well, I didn't know you thought of it that way. I didn't know that. They say, well, yeah, I do. But you never tell me you love me. Well, I just assumed that you knew. Stop. Stop. Tell them, say to them that you love them. And that means just a touch on the shoulder or a hug or an arm around the waist. Say that to them. Say that to your friends. This could be a guy with a buddy that's all into football, or maybe they're into cars and trucks or shooting or guns or anything like that, or maybe they like bow and arrow, or they like to play soccer or baseball, any number of things. Show that person that you care, because they may be carrying inside of them some sort of drill, some sort of thoughts, beliefs, quote, quote, beliefs about someone in their life or about their job, or someone that said something onto their job. And they didn't realize that maybe that person that said something on their job was going through something horrible in their mind about their wife that spoke nasty to them in the morning. Or any number of things. All these have a heavy-duty impact on our lives. So stop it. Change it. Get yourself to be more vulnerable, more open, more trusting. People pull back from that because they have a fear. This is a belief now. It's a belief. They have a fear that they're going to be harmed some way emotionally. Most of the time, quite frequently, it's just not true. End of story. So what do? You create an open dialogue, a continued open dialogue with everyone in your life. Maybe you're busy at the computer. Doesn't matter. When that person calls, if you start really looking at what's important, we're all souls, all gathered together here, and there's no accident that you're connected with person A to Z. There's no accident whatsoever. The simple reason that it's all orchestrated or blueprinted or contracted, whatever term you want to use, before you become what is termed incarnate or having a bodily form. So take that time. We often hear people, use this expression, busy. Well, I'm busy. Really? Is that actually prioritizing for yourself? Think about it. Think about that busy word. Think about where you put yourself in the whole scheme of things with those that you relate personally or in business or your job or someone you meet at the grocery store. Last night I came home from an event and I was dressed up very similar to this, and I went into Fry's grocery store to buy some veggies, and here was an elder woman in one of those electric carts that you drive around, and she was trying to get tomatoes, and tomato was landing on the floor. And so here I was looking at her, and I reached down and grabbed these little tomatoes and helped put it in her little plastic bag. And she looked up at me. She was like surprised that this gentleman would get down on his knees to help her with this little job. She said, "Oh, thank you, sir." And I said, "Well, it's my pleasure." And so now she had her tomatoes in her bag and went about her business. So the thing is, the acts of kindness of whatever you may do have huge, huge benefits. And I say that to you because of my experience. I can see people through what's called the veil on the other side. And I help people with what is termed a spirit releasement, escorting people into the heavenly realms that get themselves attached to people, called spirit releasement therapy. And like I said, we'll create another video of that. The thing is, whatever we do in our reality and however we function within it, everything is seen, heard, recorded. You say, well, how can that be? Well, think about this, 0.005. That's a pretty tiny little sliver of what's available in the whole visible spectrum. When you leave the physical body, what people call death, and find yourself, most of the time, not always, in the heavenly realms, you will get to see a panoramic view of your life. Each and every instant in your life, all those occasions, you will get to see it. And it's not some big booming voice that's going to start judging you. You will judge yourself. And a counsel will be with you. And then make a determination of some schooling you need to take, or a rest that you need, or preparations, and making a plan for the next time you want to come down to the schoolhouse and have another visit. That's how it works. And it's not just a belief, it's backed up by more literature, more book that's written, and university studies, to little joke here, to fill the Queen Mary, for example. So there we go. We can change those beliefs, change how you visualize, change how you felt about your life. You are creating new thought patterns at the quantum, atomic level, subatomic level, what we call a quantum level. Those thoughts and those visuals about changing how you feel about yourself or about money flowing into your life, those new thought patterns are at a frequency that's different than the frequency or thought pattern of being poor. It's not the same. Not the same. Go online and look at movies, or go into YouTube and look at people that are very rich and see how they believe and how they think and how they're conducting their lives, and then start modeling that. And then you will start to see changes in your life. And the more you go down that list and start changing all that you've written there into a different positive sentence, then your life will change. And as it changes more and more, something wonderful happens. And I like to tell people about the Law of 51. This basically means that whenever we're making these changes in how we feel about ourselves or about money or anything, whenever it goes over 50% of the active concept that you've agreed, wow, this is better. Whenever it goes over 50% in changing this new belief, it starts to accelerate. It will go faster, and the changes with you will go much more quickly. It's called the Law of 51. I teach a lot of people that. And you will find that as you're moving along on this much faster pathway, you will find that all kinds of things in your life will change dramatically because you have brought about a change in yourself that's bringing that all about. The sense that where you don't love yourself and your self-esteem, and you do the same thing like what was suggested to you, to start joining some clubs, start getting their emails, start contacting them, go to their place for dinner, or any number of things. And you find that your self-esteem and how you see yourself is different. And the more that you do that, there again, the Law of 51, all of a sudden you find yourself quite popular. And that special guy or the special lady you'd like to bring in your life, well, she's going to show up or he's going to show up. Here's the neat thing. More than one of them will often show up, and then you say, oh my, what I got to do now? I've got to make a decision here and find out really who I feel the chemistry, feel that law of attraction, feel that magnetism toward that person, because now you've gone from this vibe or this frequency, now you're over here. Now you're over here at a much higher frequency, and you find new friends, and those that were into the doom and gloom over here, they disappeared because you're not the same frequency, because you do not have that old belief anymore. So change your beliefs, change your life, and all the shifting will take place within how you feel about your body, how you think, and how you conduct your life. When changing your beliefs, changing all your thoughts about them, then your life will change. So there, my good friends, is a story and teaching about beliefs.
You did it.